I'm going to tell you the things that helped me to grow my net worth, and maybe they could help you as well. Welcome to Finish First Financially. I'm Goran Radanovic. Once I paid off my debts, I was no longer allocating a large portion of my income to creditors. So that enabled me to save a significant amount of money. But I didn't want to spend this money. It was part of my savings. And the whole point of savings is to grow it even more. And obviously, one of the things that I did is I delayed gratification, which is an extremely important thing to do. And that's something that savers do because they've conditioned themselves to save and also to grow their savings, as opposed to spenders who feel the need to immediately have instant gratification by spending their money on things that they most probably don't even need. They just get a thrill and a sense of satisfaction from spending their money. That's why they never have any savings. So once I had accumulated a significant amount of savings, I still wanted to grow it even more because that's the whole point of savings. You don't want to spend it, you want to grow it. I started looking into the different kinds of assets that I could invest in. And that's what I learned from this whole process, is that in order to grow my savings, I needed to invest my savings into assets. So I started looking into different kinds of things, such as real estate. That's an asset that you invest in, which can earn you more money by renting out that real estate, by renting out the apartment. I also looked into stocks, and that was a great investment as well. Now, I also wanted diversification. So I didn't want to just put all of my money into real estate or put all of my money into stocks, because what if that stock went down or the ETF went down and I wasn't going to make any money from it? So I didn't want to put all of my savings into one specific asset. I wanted to allocate a certain amount of my savings to one asset and then also portion it to other assets. In case I didn't make money from the one asset, I could potentially make money from other assets. Some of the things that I did is I invested my money, in a portion of it, into a high yield savings account. And these are usually contain the least amounts of risk because the bank pays you a certain level of interest, which at the time I was getting and still am getting just over 7% annually, which I think is pretty decent. And I kept my money in there. I earned interest every single month, but I didn't withdraw that interest. So I kept the interest there. It was added to my balance, and every single month more interest was added to it. So I was earning interest on top of my interest. It was being compounded. So I was just making more every single month without really doing anything. The bank is pretty much using my money. It's sitting there, and I'm getting a guaranteed 7% return on my investment. So that was one of the assets that I invested in. I suppose you could call that a asset as well, because it is earning me more money on my money. Another example that I invested in were coffee vending machines. So I bought several coffee vending machines which are placed around town in high traffic areas, and people use my coffee machines obviously to buy coffee. And the great thing about these vending machines is that I don't need to be there 24 hours a day in order to serve my customers. They put the money into the vending machine and the vending machine makes the coffee for them. And that's one of the great things about this business, is that I'm not tied to a specific location. I still have to go to these machines and fill them up so that there's water and there's coffee and so forth. But it's automated. So the machine and my customers are doing the work for me, most of it anyway. And that's one of the things that I learned about investing in assets. Well, there was actually two important things, is that it's good not to be tied to a specific location. An example is the vending machines. I could put them anywhere and they just making me money even though I'm at home or I'm visiting friends. And one of the things that you might want to look into is investing in an asset that is online. So that completely opens up your investment to the entire world. So an example is writing an ebook and putting it up on Amazon. So that's available globally. And that's your ebook is like your asset, or where you record a YouTube video such as this one, and I put it out there to the world. And people are going to watch this video wherever they are. I'm not tied to a specific location, and they can be anywhere. And that's one of the great things about having a asset that's online. A stock can also be construed as an asset that you invest in online. You know, you don't have to be in America to invest in a stock. You can be anywhere in the world, and the market just plays out itself regardless of where you are, where your geographical location is. So that's one important thing to consider when investing in an asset, is particularly to be not dependent on a specific location, so that it's generating you an income regardless of where you are or where the asset is placed. That's one important factor. The other one, which I think is actually even more important, is preferably investing in an asset that is generating you income while you sleep. So if you're not able to invest in an asset that's online, that's available globally, at least look into an asset that is making you money while you are busy sleeping. Because as rich people say, if you don't invest in assets that make you money while you sleep, you're going to be working until the rest of your life. When you physically have to be there attending to customers, then your income is only limited to that time that you can service customers. Whereas my coffee vending machines are generating me an income while I'm busy sleeping. When I wake up in the morning, I check the application and I see that there were sales throughout the entire night. So that's one of the great businesses that I discovered, one of the great assets that I invested in that's generating me an income. Obviously, stocks can go up while you're busy sleeping at night. So that's another great example of an asset that you could invest in that's online and that's still potentially generating you an income while you're busy sleeping. So obviously, the point of having the savings to grow your net worth is to grow the savings, but the way to do it is to invest in assets so that once you generate more income from the original investment, then you could use a portion of that to enjoy some of the money, as opposed to spenders who are just going to use the first money that they get to spend, and then they're not able to buy any assets, they're not able to invest because they already spent that money. Once you use that savings to invest in an asset that's potentially online, that's you're not limited to a specific location, and preferably it's making you money while you sleep, is probably one of the best investments that you can make. So if you need more help with this, with getting out of debt, building savings, investing, get in touch with me at finishfirstfinancially@gmail.com and come onto the show for a free consultation so that we can get you out of debt, put you on the path to savings and growing your savings with investments.